I shine like the sun above the rhetoric. You better get ready, son. I got these basketball Jones like Eddie, representing the West like Jerry at the forum. Yeah, Shaq and Duncan, just ass chicken stew. Aw shit, chicken stew, that's the flavor like pizza fucked it. I'll stop conducting more watts than amps and watts. No chance you lost your dignity from this indigenous MC. I'm never crossing over, but I shall proceed and continue.
Welcome back. We are breaking the sound barrier. I'm Robbie Pinero.
And I am your fashion killer. Bow?
Bow? Is that
Yeah.
gonna be your new name?
Bow! 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 That's how you say it though.
So when I see you at Albertsons,
I can't hear it that much anymore. So
across the aisle.
yeah, that's how I can like yeah, like a meerkat, you know?
I'm like, hey Paul.
I won't turn around. I won't turn around.
Bow.
See? It
You
works.
heard it here first. You heard it here first, folks. Alright. So welcome back everybody. I hope you have been doing good. Today we're just gonna get into our weekly or bi-weekly get together to talk, reminisce a little bit about our playlist from way back. Well, it's not even that way back. It's just 3 years back. But
Way back when I was a kid, but not a kid anymore. I wish I was a kid again.
yes, there we go.
Way back
I lost
when.
the lyrics. I lost the lyrics. But Paul's here. That's why he's here.
That's why they pay me the big bucks.
The big bucks.
You're not getting paid?
We're getting paid. Wait, hold up.
Alright, cut it.
Yeah, so I mean, we were just inspired by how Apple Music showed what we were listening to in 2017, 2016. So we're going to continue doing that and just go in depth into a couple songs that we were listening to in those years and what was going on in 2017. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we're going through a third to fourth year bandit ship.
you're just going to throw me under the
Yeah.
bus like that. I mean,
Awkward
I worked hard to get us to live together.
Touche.
I worked hard, and I told you guys, I told you and Nadine, hey, are we gonna work on this? And what happened? What happened, huh?
Alright, GG.
And plus, I had to leave. I had to leave for a minute.
Yeah.
We won't get into that part, but I'm sorry, Paul. I just
No.
want to say, I'm sorry
You're good.
if we split up for a little bit.
No.
It was nice always meeting up with you at that time.
Honestly, we're down the block.
I know, we were just down the block from each other, but still, you know,
No.
I'm just happy you're still around, and, you know, that's why we're still friends today, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course.
Always will be, man.
But, we were living fourth year. Last year, trying to, finish the job
Mm-hmm.
and get that degree.
Yeah, I think I was at my most confident in my fourth year. I just knew it was already the end of our college career, so I was just like, I might as well make the most of it, right?
Quarters are flying by. You're trying to just savor every moment, I would say.
Yeah, going to the pub as often as you can.
We're not confirming, denying, but Tuesday and Thursdays were great days.
What?
4 p.m. Oh, because we had a writing class. It was me, Julio, Adine.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a writing class. I was like a 4, and that's why you came through. We invited you too, but you came through a couple times. Tu sabes. But yeah, I mean, we that was just, like, we after class. Yeah, we might have showed up to the pub. We might knew a guy. We might have hooked it up.
Nice.
Some tater tots as well on the side.
Those tater tots were really good. If you ever have the chance to stop at Banyan Hill.
But you have to have a pint first, and then you got to order tater tots because it adds a whole nother dimension to it.
Yeah, it really
You just get off
complements
rip.
each other.
I'm not going to vouch for off rip.
We are not sponsored by the Anthill Pub, but all I have to say is those tater tots really go well with the pint of beer.
I'm not going to confirm or deny either. My IPA love was not found at the pub right there, but
It was for me.
yeah.
It was for me.
A great selection, not gonna lie.
Yeah, they had a lot of good stuff.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, we'll get into beers another day. We'll
That'd
get
be a
into-
great segment.
Yeah, that'd be really fun.
That's a great idea.
But let's get into 2017. Crazy year. Do you want to start off with like a song that, or do you want me to start off? Should I start off?
We can. I'll throw
All right.
it along.
All right. So one thing I remember from 2017 is that "Damn" came out by Kendrick. It was a really good album. I mean, I was listening to Kendrick all 4 years. No matter what year his music came out, I was still listening to it. No matter what, Good Kid, Mad City, especially. But one song that I saw on my playlist that I played a lot was XXX by Kendrick. And you look at it and it has U2 in it, and you're like, the heck? Like, what kind of song is this? Kendrick and U2 like put together? The people that forced you to have a song?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna mention that. That was outlandish right there.
That was very, very bold of them. But you know what? It worked.
I mean, it did.
I mean, it worked for them, but I mean, they're still great. That didn't tarnish their reputation. They're still legends. The reason why I love that song so much, just a little bit. The reason why I love XXX so much is because Kendrick's storytelling is really, really vivid in this song. He's talking about a man who's calling Kendrick, crying, talking about how his son had just got murdered because of probably gang relations and because he owed money to a certain gang. And he's asking K-Dot, like, oh, what would you do? Like, can you just, like, I'm looking for some closure. Can, like, bring me closer to my spiritual, do no better. But Kendrick is very honest here. You know, like, Kendrick, you think of him as a humble guy. He's, you know, the good kid from Compton. But in here, he throws that away. He says, I can't sugarcoat the answer for you. This is how I feel. If somebody killed my son, that means somebody's getting killed. And then he goes on to this rant about how he'd be proud to kill this person, which is horrible. This is horrible, and you should never do that. You should never use vengeance. But I think what Kendrick's here is saying that he's only human too. People look up to Kendrick and say like, oh, he's this like, you know, like a savior of his city. You know, like he's trying to bring these great messages. But even himself, he can even be overcome by anger, by like these horrible things that do happen in the city. And that's why he says all those things that he's saying, and he sounds so angry. And what's crazy is that once he's done with that verse where he's like, I'll call you back. All right, kids, we're going to talk about gun control. It's like, it goes into that transition where he's talking about gun control and how America is kind of, it's gonna, I'm sorry, I'm like losing the word. There's certain communities that are institutionalized and they're gonna be, you know, politics are played against certain communities. And he just mentions that, and he's just saying that Fox News makes people scared of, you know, African Americans. They portray African Americans as what he says in the song, gang members or terrorists, etc., etc. That's what America's reflections of me. That's what Amir does, and he kind of does a wordplay at the very end where it's like, where that's what Amir does, but he kind of says it like what America does, and it kind of just sounds like that. So. That's why I love that song. It was just, it's really, really powerful, but it has so many different layers to it. And that's why I love that song so much.
Yeah. I'm just trying to process all that right now.
I'm so sorry. That was
amazing.
lot.
That's amazing.
That was a lot.
It's amazing though. And then I can see, first of all, the first side that, yeah, he's only human too. And then I think that's what a lot of people are, you know, especially nowadays, you know, after going through this global pandemic and all this, you know, injustices that we're seeing, especially with social media exposing more. I think a lot of people are feeling a lot more, you know, human emotions, you know, or emotions, not human emotions. You know, I think emotions in general, but I think sometimes we, you know, take a step back. That yeah, we are human, and sometimes, you know, I feel like, you know, people maybe are taking so much on right away, where, you know, you need to take a step back and kind of focus on yourself and kind of, you know, get in tune with your emotions and like work on your mental health, because if you're not mentally, you know, healthy, or, you know, you're feeling emotionally not balance. It's definitely you're being more reactive to go into your kind of negative emotions and then react negatively to others, and then it's like a chain reaction. So I think he's calling that out, and I think it's a great message that he's calling out.
Definitely.
And then talking about the second half too, or the second part of your message or his message too, is just like calling out all these kind of
stereotypes
or just like these how everything's structured and how it plays in favor of certain people, certain communities, and plays disfavorable in other communities where they need it the most. And that's unfortunate how it's the system is kind of set up, and there's definitely a lot of change that needs to happen. But I think what's holding that change back is like, I think we're asking for, we need a lot of change, of course, and I think that's certified and that's all accepted, I would say. But I think we're trying to do step by step with him, and then it's hard. But at the same time, it's that I think step by step is going to be the greatest movement, because I think one social or one radical change is going to be not impossible, but I think people who are higher up, who have those positions to make those changes, are scared of change.
Yeah.
So we just got to keep pressing, at least make one change, or make one reform one at a time. Unfortunately, that has to be that, but maybe after a while, we could get more, a snowball effect and have more progress. But
yeah, at the end of the day, it be your own. You got to do it for your own self, and you might be put in a bad situation, but one step at a time, right? One person at a time. And, you gotta make it work.
Right.
All right.
Do you want to? Should I go? I mean, like I said, 2017 was kind of a weird playlist for myself. I was going through, like I said, I was fourth year trying to figure out the next move. So one of the songs, one of my favorite songs, I think all time as of right now, is Otis Redding, "Sitting on the Dock of the Bay." Just a soothing song. The whistling at the end, it's really unfortunate because he died prior to finishing the song. So that's why they added the whistle at the end, because he never technically finished the ending. It's the lyrics, but
wow.
Very soothing song, and he's just talking about how he moved from Georgia, and he's at the San Francisco Bay, just sitting there just chilling. And I love that song prior moving to San Francisco, and there was like I kind of manifested that, because I always picture myself sitting at the bay when he was just watching the tides roll in, watching the ships come in. But I got to experience that firsthand. It was just listening to that song, being in San Francisco, and of course it's like a different feeling, different expression. But prior to that, it's just definitely a kind of meditation song, I would say, at least for me. Like I said, he's talking about like he's not gonna change. I'm gonna move out, and I'm just gonna be me, and I'm gonna sit here resting my bones.
Yeah, that's what you did. You literally did that. You left from LA to SF. You left me.
My home in Georgia.
You left me.
Whoa.
No, just kidding. How the tables have turned. Just kidding. But yeah, I love that song so much.
Yeah.
The oldies, they always come back. They always come back in my playlist, and I think that's such a great song. I'm gonna go into oldie next. One of my top 10 songs was "A Thin Line Between Love and Hate" by the Persuaders, I believe. And I love this song. I think the time I was listening to the song so much at the time because it had another great story. It's just talking about this man who's been cheating on his wife, and like he goes back home after cheating, he's acting all suspicious, but his wife is like doesn't care, right? She's like, "Oh, did you eat?" Like trying to cater to him, still acting really nice to him. And then next thing you know, he says like the sweetest woman in the world could be the meanest woman in the world. And then if you keep on hurting her, she could be holding something inside. And then it cuts from there. And then next thing you know, he's in the hospital. Like this woman did something horrible to him.
He woke up in the hospital. Like he didn't wake up 6 p.m. there.
At least he woke up in the hospital.
Gave him a chance.
But yeah, how the song just goes from like this tense, like, oh, I just came back home from like doing this horrible act to my wife, and then she's acting super nice, and he's playing with that. It's the thin line between love and hate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I love the song so much. I don't know why I love the song. It just reminds me of growing up and listening to a lot of oldies with my mom. So yeah, I was just replaying that song a lot in 2017.
No, definitely a great song. And yeah, you don't want to bite the hand that feeds.
There you go.
It's a life lesson right there.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's just disrespectful. People. Come on.
fun though. So I think the next song I do want to call out is Dire Maker. Do you want to go into the title and why it's called?
I learned from somebody else that Dire Maker it's supposed to be like a, if you say it in a certain way, it's supposed to sound like Jamaica, so like Diamaica, like, and yeah,
Yeah, and it's definitely
that's why it sounds like reggae, right?
It's definitely a reggae inspired song. Of course, it's by Losing a Lover, but of course, you know, Robert Plant, his voice, and Jimmy Page guitars, and who's the drummer?
John Bonham,
John Bonham, and the bass. I forgot
John
the-
Paul Jones.
John Paul Jones, my man, slapping the bass.
Yeah.
But honestly, iconic voice. You know, his of course he's talking about losing a lover, but just like his like ohs, oh 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 oh. It's just like, I don't know. It's soothing, I would say too, or just like it's just very catchy and just like wants you want to sing along at the same time. You just talking about he lost a lover, but at the same time it's like you're just like jamming out too. It's like the guitars on the backgrounds, like it adds to another atmosphere and it adds, you know, a whole dimension to the song. But like this song's like the way Robert Plant just kind of delivers his vocals is, of course, it's, you know, iconic, but it's just like one of the songs that you gotta let the lead out, you know. It was Led Zeppelin. I didn't mention the artist, but I guess he
People know. People.
if you
have to know.
don't know, now you know. But
Yes,
definitely
yes, indeed.
great banger that I was, you know, because I used to go, you know, sometimes when I was driving to the apartment and Irvine, or you know, that ride, that was one of my go-to on playlists. Cruising down, or even going to Laguna, windows down, sunroof, sunglasses, and I still have the fro, but the fro's not.
Yeah.
It's not as lustrous because, you know, we're in a global pandemic. It's been hard to keep it up. There's been no motivation to go out, so I was like, yeah, I guess.
That's funny that you say that because it's like a sad song, but like we're over here like jamming to it, driving down the PCH, having a great
You
day.
don't have to go. Just everyone smiles in the back.
Oh man, one of those songs that just doesn't represent, you know, the vibe sometimes. But like you said, the OOOs, like that, you're totally right. That does really play into the morning of somebody, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a different play on words, I would say, but the way he's delivering is like you want to sing along with it. But sometimes like,
catchy.
oh, don't go. You know, it's like
Yeah.
has like that gut feeling, like feeling. I don't know how to describe it. But, you know, when you go,
That gut wrenching.
yeah.
Right? Yeah. You want me to do the real?
No. We're good, fam.
No, I'm just kidding. No violence. No, you shouldn't even play around like that. You're gay people. So next song I wanted to get into is I was listening to Wavy Bone by A$AP Rocky a lot in that year. I mean, the song is just, I wouldn't say it's a typical rap song. It's just A$AP Rocky's talking about making lots of money, you know, going around the world, you know. He's wavy, I guess. He's wavy. What is
He's
Kanye
also
say?
a fashion killer.
Yeah, he's a fashion killer. But I think the thing that I loved the most about this song was that it incorporated like the 3 6 Mafia. Like it had Juicy J in there, and like Juicy J's part he just like kills it with his like flow and everything. And then how it ends with Bun B. Bun B also came out with Candy Paint with Kodak Black in this year, and like those two songs were just amazing just because of Bun B. And I just like this lyric right here. It's get money is the main reason most people wake up, the root of why most relationship is starting breakups. So I don't know, it's just like, and then it could go on further. I don't want to get into it, but yeah, if you could just listen to Bun B's part, you'll see why I love this song so much. They all have like different flows, and you could really tell that they're all just really flexing their abilities, and that's why I love this song so much.
No, right on. That's a great song. Yeah, I mean, I think you described it perfectly. Definitely a great Wavy Bone is one good A$AP Rocky song. But did you want to mention any other songs or?
The next song I wanted to mention, I had to do this song. I had to do Forward by Tyler the Creator, because Flower Boy came out that year,
Mhm.
and the first song was my favorite song on that album because it's a perfect introduction into like the album. It's like it plays with like the themes of like what the album's gonna be about. It's talking about boredom. It's talking about you know, he brings in that Odd Future, like his old school like kind of lyrics, talking about like suicide in some parts, like, you know, he does that. But I just love how it's like a deep dive into like what the rest of the album's gonna be about. That's why it starts with a good guitar. It's like a good indie song, and then for some reason you feel like you're just descending as he starts talking about this one lyric right here. He's just saying like, if I drown and don't come back, who's going to know? If I crash and don't come back, who's going to know? And it just keeps on going worse and worse, and then it just ends. And it's just like, that's like the way that it's like the Alice in Wonderland. You're falling down the hole, right?
Yeah.
You're like being brought into this new world that Tyler the Creator wants to bring you into. And I just saw like what the album's about, and I didn't know until today like that this album has like crazy. It's just about Tyler the Creator being way more honest about his sexuality and like talking about the person that he loves, and it's a very it all works together. And I just really implore you guys to look up what the album's about and how each song plays into the next. And you'll see that Tyler the Creator really made a masterpiece with this album. And Forward, I love that song. It's just really good. The guitar is good. Great. And that was my 2017.
Definitely a great album.
Yeah,
Great production. I think we're a little short on time right now, so I think we're just gonna wrap it up for now. We'll definitely go into more details into. I think we're in 2018, still have 2019 to do.
Yeah.
And we still have more content. Instead, we're still gonna work on the Wu-Tang, the Beatles, and I think other specific artists. And maybe I think we're talking about certain albums that we want to go over, like we did for Marvin Gaye. So stay tuned. Hope you appreciate the content. Like and subscribe.
Leave a comment. Call us out if we're wrong on anything. Hey, I'm being honest. We might be wrong on a lot of things, okay? So do call us out. We like that. We want you guys to participate. We're a community. Give us suggestions, you know? So that's it for today, or at least for right now.
Yeah.
And we'll see you soon.